You're in the shower. Nothing has happened. No trigger, no reminder, no reason at all. And then it's there. Maybe it's something you said at a party 3 years ago, a joke that landed wrong, and you watched someone's expression change. Maybe it's the time you forgot a colleague's name, right in the middle of introducing them. Maybe it's smaller than that, a stumble, a word that came out wrong, a door you tried to push that said pull. It doesn't matter how small it was. Your face goes warm. The scene replays, not vaguely, not approximately, but in full detail. Every face in the room, the exact words, the silence after. You were just trying to wash your hair. You've probably had a theory about this. Maybe you're an overthinker, sensitive, the kind of person who cares too much about what other people think. Some people just move on easily, and you're not one of them. And honestly, why wouldn't you believe that? The evidence seems to fit. Other people appear unbothered, you replay things. The conclusion writes itself. But here's something that doesn't quite fit the theory. You cannot remember what you had for lunch the day it happened. You can't remember what you were wearing, or what the weather was, or what happened the hour before. Most of that week is completely gone. This memory, though, you remember every face in the room. That's not what anxiety looks like. That's something more specific than that. Memory is not a camera. It has never recorded everything equally, and it was never designed to. What gets stored, how clearly and how durably, all of it is shaped by one question the brain is constantly asking: does this matter for survival? Neutral events get a neutral filing. A lunch, a commute, an unremarkable Tuesday afternoon, the brain takes rough notes and moves on. But when something carries emotional weight, a completely different system activates. The brain doesn't just record the event, it marks it. It encodes it with urgency. It stores it somewhere you will not lose it. This design is not new. It is not a feature of modern anxiety or social media or the pressures of contemporary life. It is as old as the first human who needed to remember where the predator was. Here is how it actually works. The moment something socially threatening happens, a rejection, a humiliation, a moment of visible failure, a small almond-shaped structure deep in your brain called the amygdala fires a threat alert. Immediately, your body releases a flood of stress hormones, cortisol, norepinephrine. These hormones travel to the hippocampus, the brain's primary memory formation center, and they do something precise. They strengthen the synaptic connections being formed at that exact moment. The memory doesn't just get stored, it gets reinforced, chemically sealed, saved with a priority flag that says, "Do not delete this." Now, here's where the theory that you're just an anxious person who dwells on things starts to come apart. In 2003, a neuroscientist named Naomi Eisenberger ran a study at UCLA. She put participants in a brain scanner and had them play a simple virtual ball-tossing game with two other players. Midway through, the other players stopped passing the ball to them. That was the entire experiment, a children's game, digital exclusion from a game that meant nothing. The brain scans showed activation in the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, the same region that processes physical pain. Not metaphorically, not "it felt like pain." The same tissue, the same neural pathway your brain uses when you break a bone or burn your hand. Your brain does not have a separate system for social threats. It runs them through the pain system, because for most of human history, being excluded from the group wasn't embarrassing. It ended your life. The brain that treated social rejection as a survival emergency was the brain that stayed alert, stayed connected, stayed alive. That brain is the one you inherited, and it comes with one more mechanism worth knowing about. Researchers studying emotional memory have found that negative social events require, on average, 5 positive experiences to neutralize their emotional weight. not to erase them, just to balance them. A single moment of visible failure carries roughly 5 times the psychological force of a comparable success. Your brain is not broken. It is running a very old calculation. Threats matter more than rewards because missing a threat costs more than missing an opportunity. The memory keeps replaying because that's what the threat system does. It checks, it reviews the evidence, it asks again and again, is the danger still present? Has it passed? Are we safe? Your brain cannot tell the difference between being laughed at and being in danger, so it treats both exactly the same way. Back in the shower, the memory arrives. Your face goes warm. The scene plays. What you're feeling is not a character flaw. It is not anxiety or sensitivity or an inability to let things go. It is a threat signal, still running, checking, as it was always designed to check, whether the danger has passed. Memory is not a recording of what happened. It is a filing system organized by urgency. The files you can't stop opening are not the most important moments of your life. They are the ones the brain tagged as unresolved, the ones still waiting for an all clear that the system was never built to receive. You are not haunted by these moments. You are being protected from them. And a threat signal, once you know what it is, once you can name the mechanism, trace the pathway, understand the age of the system running beneath it, does not have to be obeyed. The memory will still come, the heat will still arrive, but you'll know what it is now. If this video gave you a slightly different way of seeing something you experience every week, consider subscribing. That's what this channel is for, finding the hidden system underneath the things you've always just assumed were you.